The number one question that we are getting is, should I sell my home now or should I wait? 50%, the number is 50% of all homeowners have an interest rate of 3.5% or below, and 90% of homeowners have an interest rate of 5% or lower, right? So sellers are like, oh, should I keep my house because I got a low interest rate? Our values are going to go up? Like, there's a lot of things there. And I'm just going to give you some things to think about. This is not going to answer yes or no, because we believe that every situation is different. We can unpack your individual situation. But the number one thing you should think about is, what is the alternative, right? If you don't sell, you're going to stay a landlord. What can you do with the equity? What can you do with your energy? Are you going to continue to manage it? Can you afford to keep a rental if the market changes, or if you have a bad tenant experience? The cost of turnover is higher because material costs and labor costs are higher. And, are you really cash flowing? These are all things that you need to think about when you're thinking about the alternative. All right. The second thing that you need to think about is, I've always heard keeping a property that you don't want to own is like a double tax, right? It's a double tax in your energy, and eventually it's going to be a double tax in your money, right? Keeping a property by default is not a good enough reason for you to keep a piece of real estate. You really need to believe in that piece of real estate. You need to think like long term, this is going to be a great piece of real estate. And if it's not, it's always a good time to sell that piece of real estate, because you can go buy something else that will be able to check all those boxes. All right. Number three, speaking of like money and taxes, will you owning it longer kick you into capital gain? So we had a client who said, I really want the property values to go up, and I'm gonna keep this for another 7 years. Well, they were moving out of state, and when they sold that piece of property, now it would be considered an investment property, and then they have capital gains, which likely would have eaten up any appreciation that they might have gotten, right? So thinking long term about whether this is something you want to keep for the long term and what are the tax implications, you have to think about that, because you could get some appreciation, but you could get a bigger tax bill, and then you're stuck at the same place, or even in a worse position. All right. And then last but not least, just kind of think about it. Will the market get better or worse, right? Will rates get better or worse? The market moves in 7 to 10 year cycles. So if you decide that you want to keep this piece of property, you don't want to sell it, you need to be thinking along those time horizons, right? So if you're thinking about selling, or if you have any questions about how we can unpack it with you, feel free to schedule a free 15-minute strategy session. We want you guys to make smart real estate decisions, and we're never going to get onto the call to say, hey, you need to do this or you don't need to do this. We want to make sure that you're asking yourself the intelligent questions so you can get the right answer. Hopefully the intelligent answer. All right. Alan Johnson with the AJ team. You have the drink, we have the address, and we'll see you soon.